some fascinating things you have to say about peak performance. The kind of surefire way to get there is to switch off our conscious and intrusive thinking and allow our non-conscious brain functions to dominate. I think that's really cool. And so how do we go about getting non-conscious? I mean, what are there things we can do in the moment? Are there things that we can do on a daily basis? I mean, I try to go non-conscious because I swim, I do yoga, things like that. I walk my dog. It makes me very non-conscious. I love it.
Like there's all of these labels of people are just so wrong. But peak performance, everybody knows what we're talking about.
Yeah.
It is peak. And so why are they so different? That one of the things they're able to do is truly do two things. Truly be in the moment. We use that word, but then we have all these other sort of psychobabble words like flow and stuff.
Yeah.
But the reality is, what does that mean? So the issue of being in the moment in terms of peak performance is two things. How do you stay totally non-consciously using your routine of what makes you problem solve in an optimal way? So you're unleashing your non-conscious brain to maximally find the permutations that basically get you there. And the second thing is, how do you deal with the greatest derailer of peak performance, which is negative thoughts? So what do you do with negative intrusion? The thing about being in the moment sounds so obvious and so easy, but it is a trained thing. And it's being in the moment in kind of all sorts of ways. So what's your favorite sport?
I suppose basketball.
Okay, so take last night in basketball. Yeah. So you could see in last night in the basketball, there was a moment in that game in the finals where the team was ahead and they couldn't actually accelerate that lead. And if you looked at their body languages, you could sense the disappointment in their body language. And here are these greatest players in the country. They had these nuances of body language negativity in the moment. And so that's the one thing that reflects that critical moment, in the immersion in the moment, and that body language to not go negative when adversity hits you. That is not a trivial thing to do. If you look at the top golfers, which I study, when they miss a putt, I mean, some of them miss a 30, 40 foot putt and they go, oh, as if that putt was going to go in. Like, dude, it was 30, 40 foot. It's fantastic. You got it within, 3 centimeters.
So wait, what are they supposed to do? Okay.
Well, it's just a matter of
fine with me.
If you flood your brain with a negative chemistry, it lasts for a little bit of time. So you've just got to find what works for you. Some people operate on a high anxiety mode. There's a sort of inverted U curve where people have their different optimal levels of performance. But my point is that it's a trained thing. It's not something you make up on the moment. So that's number one. And number two, what do you do when you have a negative thought? It is useful to do training, whether we call them exercises. Some of them are exercises like shifting negative to positive thinking. Some of them are games like memory games or getting through a maze. When you try too hard, you can see your response times are sort of laboured. And part of that is because you're in your fight-flight stress mode, which kind of like gets you out of danger, but it stiffens you up. It's like your bandwidth is narrow. Whereas when you're in your other state, what's called your 10th cranial nerve, your vagus flexible state.
10th cranial nerve.
So you've got two systems, right? One is the fight-flight, and the other is your 10th cranial nerve, vagus flexibility. And you find that your subtle timing of making decisions, you're not stressed, you're not tense, you're not too chilled out, but you kind of find that ability to just put it all together in a adaptively flexible, optimal way.
So that's aligning your non-conscious with
pretty much, or finding the right balance between your slight dominance of non-conscious or whatever it is, your right level of arousal, and that you're not trapped in your fight-flight system, and that you then timing is critical, and you can train timing. And so the timing, you could go to any exercise that you do, you add the timing exercise. While with people getting older, dancing is such a loved activity because of the timing. It's like it buzzes your brain. I don't like dancing particularly in public, but I get it. Like,
you don't dance in public.
I do a little bit, not a lot. We have a brain dance.
At home?
I do a brain dance, which we've got. It's a brain
all right.
dance, which I can't.
Come on. That's where you spin on your head, right?
That's clever. No. But timing and dancing and sport timing is a huge buzz for the brain. It's what it does for a living.
Well, you know, I
Other than
love
keep
swimming in
safe.
part because it's like this beautiful, kind of methodical thing you can do.
Isn't that a fabulous example? We're swimming where there's a point at which less is more, where it's not the power that you pull your head through, but that sort of that fantastic gliding ability to just get it all.
It comes
ticking.
on after about lap 10 or something.
So swimming is a great example where the timing of the whole system is what gets you there.
Yeah, I know you don't like the word flow, but that's
I
a
like the
state
word.
I get into.
I like the word. I just if there is a brain-related equivalent, then I just would say that it's got another kind of explanatory power. So, but no, flow is a beautiful word.